Welcome to this session, the breakaway session, where we're going to learn about how to do business in Zambia. We've got an amazing lineup of speakers, and our first speaker is an incredible businesswoman in Zambia, very well known here for her different business activities and also her philanthropy and her activism. But today she's here in her capacity as Vice Chair of the Board, Zambia Development Agency. Her name is Ms. Chisoma Lombe. So looking forward to her presentation. Welcome, Chisoma.
Hello, everybody. Sorry about the wait. We're just having a couple of auditions just running around. We can enjoy the day as nice and smooth.
To Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Finland, the Minister for Development Cooperation and Foreign Trade of Finland, the Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry of Zambia. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased to be here today to deliberate on how to do business in Zambia and share my personal experiences as well as the Vice Board Chairperson for the Zambia Development Agency, ZDA. I'm going to talk today about the competitive advantage that Zambia has over a lot of other countries in this region. And I'm also going to talk about the opportunities that are there for you to do business in Zambia. As you may be aware, Zambia is located in southern Central Africa, which is endowed with a lot of natural resources that pose immense investment opportunities for both large investors and small to medium enterprises, which could be harnessed to exploit the export markets. The country has a landmass of over 752,000 kilometers square and a population of approximately 18 million, of which over 60% of the population is the youth, who are tech savvy and are willing and ready to work. The country recorded an inflation CPI of 19.2% as of December 2020, and an exchange rate of Zambian kwacha 21 to $1 as of January 2021, which is understandably high but notably stable. However, this high exchange rate is not unique to Zambia, as most economies world over have been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Zambia is a country that has never experienced any war since independence in 1964. The country has achieved notable rankings as a result of business reforms and improvements over time, leading to being ranked for ease of doing business as of December 2020 by the World Bank as follows. Zambia was ranked 85th in the world. Zambia was ranked 4th in the SADC region. Zambia was ranked 4th in the COMESA region. Zambia was ranked 5th in the Sub-Saharan Africa. Zambia is party also to various trade agreements, including but not limited to SADC, which offers a market of approximately 342 million people with a real GDP of $689 billion as of 2020. Zambia is also a member of COMESA, which offers a market of approximately 450 million people with a real GDP of $561 billion as of 2020. EAC also offers approximately 145 million people with a real GDP of 147 billion as of 2020. With Zambia having consented among the 44 out of the 54 countries on the African continent thus far to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which came into effect on the 1st of January 2021. This, ladies and gentlemen, offers a market of over 1.3 billion people. So that is the competitive advantage that Zambia has. And having given the demographic and economic outline of Zambia, I would now like to talk about investment and business opportunities the country has to offer, starting with energy sector. It should be noted and stated that the demand for electricity is expected to exceed 2,500 megawatts in the year 2021. And this offers opportunities in electricity, petroleum, coal, biomass, and renewable energy. Solar energy projects. The country experiences over 3,000 sunshine hours annually, offering great potential for solar power generation. The country also has a lot of water bodies, especially in the northern region, that has not been exploited yet. We are right now developing a 1,000 cubic meter biofuel storage facility in Indeni Petroleum in Ndola. The country's demand for petroleum products exceeds 52 million liters per month, among others. Another sector which offers immense opportunities is the agricultural sector, which includes agribusiness. The government has and is encouraging diversification of the economic activities. Zambia's agricultural sector has maintained positive growth, hovering between 6% to 12% in the past 6 years. The country has 42 million hectares of arable land, which is 58% of the total land the country has, but only 14% is currently being utilized. So we have a lot of opportunities when it comes to agriculture and agribusiness. And some of these opportunities include, we have 100,000 hectares of land in each of the 10 provinces of the country reserved for commercial farming activities. 70% of edible oil is imported, with national requirement estimated at 120,000 metric tons per annum. 1 million metric tons of maize storage capacity is required. Imports of fruit and vegetables worth $42 million annually indicate a great investment opportunity. Growth in poultry sector has created investment potential in hatcheries and subsequent poultry product, value addition given the existing huge regional export potential that Zambia has. The forestry subsector also offers opportunity in plantations and subsequently processing of timber, such as the rubber subsector, amongst others. When it comes to ICT, the advent of the COVID-19 has made stakeholders realize that business can continue whilst utilizing electric and virtual platforms, thereby leading to innovations for economic growth. This offers opportunities in ICT as follows: assembly of computers, mobile phones, tablets, and other electric devices. Computers, once assembled, could be rolled in schools to improve on the country education systems, which is encouraging the use of ICT. The country just offered a telecommunication license to a fourth mobile telephone service provider. There is need for more players to enter this space to increase competition and improved quality of service. When it comes to the education system, the country's emphasis on having an educated and skilled population offers great opportunities in setting up tertiary education institutions. Finally, the country has been predominantly dependent on mining, with a concentration of copper and cobalt. Recently, it has been discovered that we have so many other mineral deposits, including gold. This offers an opportunity in mining, but beyond that, mineral processing. The country strongly supports the growth of agro-processing, mineral processing, pharmaceuticals, engineering, and foundry. Some of the factors that encourage value addition or manufacturing include that Zambia has an abundance of raw materials. We also have a qualified labor force, and we have abundance of land. There are certain projects that have been profiled already and are ready for adoption under the value addition and manufacturing, and these include cashew nut production, fertilizer production, commercial honey production, mango products manufacturing. Example, we can produce mango juice, mango jam. Tomato products also can produce tomato paste and tomato juice. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of incentives that the country has to offer. The government attaches great importance to businesses involved in value addition and manufacturing and offers an attractive incentive package. Some of the incentives offered include, and these are tax incentives. One, under the manufacturing and energy sector, we have accelerated depreciation for capital expenditures plus 0% duty on imported capital goods. Under the agricultural sector, we have corporate tax at 10% instead of the 35% that's there, plus 0% duty rate on capital goods. Under the agro-processing sector, we have corporate tax at 10% plus 0% duty rate on imported capital goods. Under construction, in sectors such as education, health, tourism, housing, agriculture, energy, and water development, we have 0% duty rate on imported capital equipment and machinery. All these tax incentives, except corporate tax in agriculture and agro-processing, are for the first 5 years at a minimum investment of $500,000. I would like to assure you of Zambia and Zambia Development Agency's commitment to continue supporting, promoting, and facilitating investments in Zambia, which includes attracting foreign direct investments and encouraging local direct investment, including export development and nurturing of SMEs. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chichiso Malombe, who is the Vice Chair of the Board, Zambia Development Agency, for that speech, really telling us how ready Zambia is and how much opportunity we have. And right now I'm going to invite the Advisor Trade and Economics at the Embassy of Finland, Mr. Marko Heikkilä, who's going to speak to us about what the embassy can do for you as a Finnish business looking to do business in Zambia.
Thank you very much, Lulu. You look stunning as always. The first slide, please. I'm going to really briefly talk to you about what the embassy can do for you. A brief overview of the embassy services. Next slide, please. So basically, the role of the embassy is that we do support Finnish companies which are looking to enter the Zambian markets. But you have to also remember that the embassy here in Zambia is responsible also for DRC, Malawi, and Zimbabwe. And we see embassy as your first contact point. So basically, you can always contact us first, and we can provide you the more detailed information where to go next. So basically, we provide contacts to government, different funding mechanisms also, including European Union, World Bank, African Development Bank, and different UN organizations. We provide relevant information of markets, market opportunities and business leads, information on potential clients, and we are doing that really closely with the companies, and that's what we've been doing a couple of years, and I'm going to come back to this a little bit further. And also contact details of local market access consultants, which is really important when you're really serious and you want to go forward over here in Zambia and doing really business over here in Zambia. The local consultants are really extremely important to use over here. We are also providing the information of financial supporting options, for example, FinnPartnership. The next speaker is going to be from FinnPartnership, so you're going to hear much more about that financial support opportunity from him. And then we also do the so-called door opening services. So basically, we can open the doors for you. We can contact the different operators over here, for example, government organizations, ministries, and organize also meetings for you. Next slide, please. So for the companies, we can't do anything over here if you don't give us also something. What the embassy needs from you. So you need to have really realistic expectations of the markets. So please study really carefully before you have planned to enter these markets. And also the homework should be done in advance. So basically do everything you can. You can use Google, ask from different companies who've been doing business over here, etc. So basically we need something from your side as well. And also to be realistic in timeline of closing deals. This is Zambia, this is not Finland, this is not Nordic countries. Everything's taking time, everything taking much more longer than in Europe. So basically the time frame is going to be much longer than over here. So that's why you really have to understand that this is going to be for you the long-term commitment and long-term relation. And then also what you have to provide for us, we need when we are going to help for you, we need accurate company information. So basically when you contact us, when you contact, for example, me, I need basic information of your company, which is good to give to the different potential partners, so we can start to find for them for you. We've been using here like last 3 years in our embassy in Lusaka, so-called feet on the ground. In Finnish, we would say nyrkit savessa. The exact translation of that is going to be basically like fists in the clay. So basically we are helping companies quite a lot, almost like consultants, but not so far. And that has been very successful. We can see some success stories, what you just saw with a couple of videos over here, for example. BioRacer is a good example of that. And there's also other ones, and of course we are going to support all the companies which want to do business in Zambia, or the other countries which were mentioned earlier as much as possible. So please don't hesitate to contact me, contact the embassy as your first contact point. We are really happy to help you. We are really happy to assist you, and we are over here for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to Marco, and as he has said, please do get in touch with him as your first contact if you'd like to do business in Zambia, if you'd like to get more information about doing business in Zambia. He's the advisor, trade and economics, I think, at the embassy of Finland. And now we're going to have our next speaker who's going to speak on business partners and financing from Finn Partnership. And this is the program officer of Finn Partnership, which is the Finnish Business Partnership Program. And this is Mr. Nike.
Hello everyone, can you hear me and see me?
We can, yes.
Great. I can actually, I see Elina sharing the slides. I can also share the slides if that's okay. Thank you. I will share my content. Just 1 second. All right, so thanks everyone, and thank you for those kind words. And it's been an interesting event so far. And as mentioned, I am from Finn Partnership, and I work here as a program officer. And today I will tell you about our services and our financing. So our program is financed by the Ministry for Foreign Affairs of Finland, and we're managed by development finance institution called FinnFund. And our mission is to help create development by supporting long-term business partnerships between organizations in Finland and in the developing countries. And this we mainly do by offering our business partnership support, which is financial support, and also with our matchmaking service. And we cooperate with Team Finland and Business Finland and Finnish embassies in our target countries. So first I'll walk you through our financial support, which is called business partnership support. And before we go into business partnership support in more detail, I will give you a quick overview of our last year. So in total, we supported 53 projects, and the total support that was granted was 4.3 million euros. So the average support we granted was around 81,000 euros per project. And in the map, you can see our area of operation. And all the emerging markets listed by OECD's Development Assistance Committee belong to our target countries. And last year, most support was granted to projects in Africa. And altogether, between 2007 and 2020, we've granted financial support to 41 projects in Zambia, totaling 2.2 million euros. And most of this has been granted to companies operating in the agricultural sector and in the ICT sector. And eligible applicants are companies registered in Finland or then elsewhere that have a substantial link to Finland. In other words, significant Finnish ownership. And other eligible candidates are, for instance, public institutions registered in Finland, research facilities, universities, chambers of commerce, or similar organizations based in Finland. And also non-governmental organizations registered in Finland that practice or contribute to economic operations. And also consortiums of several companies or organizations. And the applicants need to finance the planned projects by themselves. So the applicant needs to have sufficient financial resources to carry out the project. And our financial grant is then paid as a reimbursement after the costs have incurred. And the financial support can be granted for projects in developing countries that aim to establish a joint venture with a local operator, or then establish a subsidiary, or then other long-term partnerships such as subcontracting or licensing. And in the case of licensing or franchising agreements, they must be associated with long-term cooperation with a local partner, including partner training, contractual support, or co-development of the products or services. And we also support importing from developing countries to Finland and pilot projects with international organizations such as the United Nations. And also an NGO or educational institution or a foundation can act as a support project for an existing business partnership support project by another organization. At times, also education and training can be supportable. Training business plan. And in the implementation phase, support can be used to, for example, train personnel in the target country. And as a rule of thumb, normal operative day-to-day business cannot be supported, such as marketing or sales. And in different project phases, the approved expenses for the applicant's own personal and external expert expenses include travel costs when traveling to the target country or another country relevant to the project, also accommodation costs and daily allowance costs while working in the target country, and external expert fees, so consultant fees, regardless of the location where the work is being conducted. So the target countries for these projects are the developing countries listed by OECD's Development Assistance Committee, DAC. And the amount of business partnership support to be granted is either 30, 50, 70, or 85% of the total costs of the approved project's budget. So the support percentage depends on the level of development in the target country and the size of the applicant company. So for example, if the applicant is a small or medium-sized enterprise seeking for financial support for a project in Zambia, the financial grant would be 70% of total approved project costs. And in the event that the Ministry for Foreign Affairs of Finland determines that the project in question is not subject to the de minimis restrictions, a maximum of 400,000 euros can be granted per project. And the granted support is not considered to count toward the company's de minimis quota. And a company can receive up to 200,000 euros of de minimis support during the current and previous 2 tax years. So in case the project has impacts on the European Economic Area. So in addition to the financial support, we also provide a matchmaking service for companies. And currently we have around 500 companies in our database from 50 different developing countries, covering various different industries. So business partnership initiatives are forwarded directly to relevant Finnish companies and partner organizations. And FinnPartnership offers a service where we organize, together with our partners, digital meetings for companies in Finland and in the developing countries. And through this database, you can search for companies by region and by industry. So you just type in the country and which sector you're interested in. And by doing this, you will find brief descriptions of the companies as well as high-level financial information and contact details. And we constantly update this database, adding more companies to it. And we also remove any so-called passive companies that do not have up-to-date information. So here's an example. So if you type Zambia, you find these companies that have registered to the database and are seeking for Finnish partners, such as, for example, Finnish importers and distributors. In case this is something you'd be interested in, you can create a search alert. So you will then receive the latest business proposals to your emails by country type and business sector type and project type. I'd like to thank all of you for your time and interest. And if you have any questions regarding our business partnership support or our matchmaking service, would like to welcome you to our next workshop in May. Also, you can always contact me, send me an email or call me, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you, everyone.
So thank you so much to our final panelists. We've got a few questions that have come on right now, and I'm just going to quickly get those questions come up on my phone. All right, so our first question is for Ms. Chisoma Lombe. I'm going to ask her to come forward and I'll ask her the question while she's on screen. So Chisoma, how can ZDA give concrete help to Finnish companies?
Well, ZDA, I didn't explain, is Zambia Development Agency. It's an agency under the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry. And we facilitate for businesses, for organizations that are coming from outside the country. What I actually mentioned earlier is that we give incentives that are fiscal, but I didn't indicate that we also give non-fiscal incentives. And such incentives include facilitation of any enterprise that would like to invest in Zambia. So we help in terms of connecting you to ministries that would be involved in setting up your businesses. So in other words, we play the middleman in setting up, in helping you set up the business. In terms of talking to the chiefs where you would like to set up your business, in terms of talking to the other ministries that you need to help in setting up your business. So yes, from the beginning to the end, we will be your middle person, and that's the non-fiscal help that we give to organizations like you.
Okay, now next question is for Marco. Could you give us some concrete examples of the embassy's role in some Finnish business adventures in Zambia?
Thank you, Lulu. Yeah, that's an excellent question, because I was mentioning in my speech about this feet on the ground approach, what we've been doing like almost 3 years. 3 years now, and helping companies really far with different kind of like helping methods, basically organizing the first meetings, giving the first information to the companies, and then going further. The best example is what you saw earlier is a BioRacer, what we were helping also a few years ago. Then there's, for example, Tikmu, and there's going to be also really soon. Despac was also presenting over there, and they talked about the really near future plans about what they're going to do over here with their local partner. So basically, what is also our approach and what we would like that Finnish companies would do is to basically enter over here, try, hopefully with the funding from the Finnish government and hopefully with the help of AGS, to establish a local company in Zambia, and also hopefully in the future to start the factory or assembly line over here in Zambia, like BioRacer has done. So then I'm totally sure that those are going to be, there's going to be much more success stories in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have one more question for Nike, who's joining us virtually. Nike, how long does it usually take to receive a funding decision from Finn Partnership? Is one available to apply at any time of the year? For example, a continuous application period?
Thank you for the question. So yes, it is a continuous application period, so you can apply at any time of the year. And it varies, so it might take from 2 to 4 months to receive a decision.
Thank you so much. So those are the questions that we've had from this session. If you've got any more questions, please do feel free to send in the questions in the chat, and you're definitely going to get a response. To all the Finnish companies that are on right now, remember that you can get in touch with Marco from the Finnish Embassy if you'd like to, make first contact and get more information. I think Nike is also available, and Chisoma, thank you so much also for coming all the way from the ZDA and representing the board. We are going to move from this room right now into the main room shortly. When I look at my time now, it's 11:39, so we've got about 6 minutes before the next session begins. So I would like to ask each of us just to stay put, and we are going to be transferred into the main room as we prepare for our next sessions. But thank you so much for everyone for taking part. Keep the questions coming. I know a lot of you might have a lot of questions, but thank you for joining this breakaway session.